Hey folks, Brian here with Archetype Body. This episode of Archetype Nation, we're going to focus on today's meal that I'm having here. Today's meal is homemade ravioli. Inside the ravioli there's an actual vegetable puree. As you can see, I've already got these pre-made, and they've actually been frozen for a little while. My wife and I made a ton of these a while back, and the nice thing about that is you can just freeze them and enjoy them, in the time to come. So we're not going to be focusing on making those. I do have the recipe on that I'll put up on how to make those. What I am going to show you how to make is the aromatic white sauce. It's good stuff. It's really good stuff, and it's actually pretty good for you too. So we're going to get started putting this together, and hope you enjoy it. So what we got to start with, what we've got is we've got about 2 tablespoons. I don't know if you can see in there a little bit of 2 tablespoons of wheat flour. Recipe also calls for either you can use all-purpose flour, but I prefer wheat flour because it's better for you. And we've got 1/4 of a small to small medium-sized white onion. I've got basil and thyme, a little pinch of basil and thyme in there, and also we've got 5 whole peppercorns. I don't know if you can see those; they're kind of small. And then we've also got a basil leaf, 1 tablespoon of butter. That's it. And 2 cups of milk. So first thing I'm going to do is grab my mortar and pestle. I wanted to show you folks this bad boy. This thing's pretty heavy. My wife got this at IKEA in Arizona, but I love it. I've wanted one for a while because I do enjoy to cook. And the cool thing about this is you just use it like the old times back in the day, and you just grind it up in there until you've got a nice little. It's really loud, kind of hurts your ears, but you got nice ground up pepper in there. You can barely see it because it doesn't take a whole lot. You grind it up really good. And you just kind of get it into a pile. I'm going to put it right in with my basil and thyme. It fits in there real nicely. If you want it, if you don't have this stuff, you can use, of course you can use just ground black pepper, but it's nice to get it really fine if you don't have the fine kind. So, now we've got that done. What we're going to do is take 2 cups of milk, and this is, I'm just using fat-free skim milk. We're going to pour 1 cup. You're going to want to have a small saucepan, and you're going to want to have a medium saucepan. So 2 cups of milk. I'm going to put that away. Now we will add onions. I'm going to put this over a medium heat. Put our onions in there. Yummy onions. Make sure if you're messing with onions and you have puppies or kitties, not to leave them sitting around because those onions are not good for them. We've got your thyme, basil, and pepper. We're going to put that right in there. And your bay leaf is going to go in there. We're going to heat that up over a medium heat, and we're going to let it heat and stir until it gets warm. And at the same time, what we're going to do is we're going to take our butter and our flour, put it in the medium saucepan. Sticky, icky butter. Put that in the medium saucepan. We're going to let that melt. It's not going to take much for that to melt. Once that starts to melt, we're going to add the flour to it, stir it up real nice, and mix that in. Because once that cooks for 1 minute after melted, we will. I'm fogging up here. I need a stop for that. We're going to add the 2 together. So stir that up real nice. Let the butter melt. Let this heat up. Now it's important when you make these things, this recipe, if you're making the ravioli, it's a little bit of work. It takes some time. I think my wife and I, when we made the first batch, we made quite a few of it, and we did different stuff. We did a vegetable puree. We did like a Parmesan cheese puree. We did also one more involving ground turkey with some herbs and spices because we wanted a little meat flavor. We're not total vegetarians or anything. So we made a couple different kinds, and what we did is we took about medium-sized freezer bags, and we put eight raviolis in each freezer bag. And what we actually used wontons to do it because at the store that we go to, they didn't have any pasta like that, and it's important to get a good size kind of flat pasta. So we used wontons, which makes them a little brittle, but if you're careful when you're thawing them and then cooking them, you'll be okay. What I found is baking works it really good. The recipe actually calls for you to boil it, but the wontons are relatively fragile after they've been frozen for a while. So I think baking it works better. So that's the way I go about it right now. So we're going to check on this. Our butter seems to be melting a bit. Oh, it's looking nice. All right, not bad, not too shabby, not too shabby. All right. The other thing is, what they suggest is have the sauce made before you're completely done cooking your ravioli, because they want you to let the sauce sit. You can put it in the refrigerator. They want those herbs from the thyme and the basil. Actually calls for, if you can get a hold of it, fresh thyme and basil sprigs. Dry works just fine, but it takes a little longer for the dry stuff to get penetrated by the liquid in the milk and stuff like that, so it releases all the flavor. But I'm just using the non-fresh right now because when we went to the grocery store this past weekend, we knew we had dried and we didn't feel like picking up the fresh stuff. So, all right, a little warm over here. Not too bad, not too bad. All right, the butter is melted. I'm going to turn that heat down real quick so my butter doesn't melt away. Now the trick is putting in the flour into that butter. Let that butter absorb that flour. Now I added some extra flour because it is wheat flour. And sometimes it takes a little bit more wheat flour to thicken up. So that's ready to go. That should be ready to go. Hey, my cats are attacking each other in here. Alright, we're going to put this back to medium. This. Now we're mixing all that together, the flour, the butter, and the other mixture. Now, that is your sauce. And right now it's going to be really thin when you first mix them together. It's going to take about 25 minutes of cooking on a medium-low heat to get that to thicken up a little bit. It's not going to be super thick. If you're having trouble getting it thick using wheat flour, instead of jumping right to the all-purpose flour, I want to try arrowroot. So if you haven't gone and picked this stuff up yet, try getting some arrowroot. It works really good. And be patient. Make sure you let it cook through the entire time before you're worrying about it not thickening up. Make sure you stir it, and if it's not thickening up, put some arrowroot in there. But the key is with anything like that, even with regular flour, be patient with it because it will get thick. Because if you keep adding and adding and adding, you're going to run into trouble being too thick. You're not going to have a sauce. You're going to have a paste. All right. So I enjoyed doing this. It was a good time. Enjoy. I will post the information for this recipe online with this video. So thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll talk to you later. Bye.